Someone is afraid. They are nervous and shaky. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family. Someone is afraid. They are nervous and shaky. Somebody drop in the comments and say, what you nervous for? Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say what you nervous for. See, people or person, entities, okay, companies, whatever you want to say, y'all, they all get nervous and afraid when a person is on to what they have going on, right? Which is going to be one of the points, but we'll go into depth. People become afraid when they know that their time is coming, right? Somebody drop in the comments and say, your time is up. And see, one thing that I'm going to draw a parallel to is when a dog is afraid, they tuck their tail, right? When a company is afraid, they start giving out so many different incentives, right? When a country is afraid, they wave the white flag. They surrender, right? And so what I'm saying is, y'all, you can tell those who are tucking their tail. You can tell those who are giving you incentives and being extra nice. Why? Because they are nervous and afraid. They shaky. They're trying to throw you off. Somebody drop in the comments and say, you won't throw me off. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, you won't throw me off. See, oftentimes, y'all, when you are a chosen one, you are very intuitive. Or you are very discerning. And see, within that discerning spirit lies a strong spirit. And people are very irritated by that because they demons can't stand you. And see, I need y'all to understand something. These people, or this particular person who is afraid, they are very nervous because they know how close you are to their BS. They know how close you are to exposing them. They know how close you are to recognizing the real. Like I said in a lot of my videos, y'all, you can't hide the real, right? And what's done in the dark will always come to the light, right? Let me say that once again, y'all. What is done in the dark will always come to the light. So if you're worrying about a person cheating, guess what, y'all? They're going to be so nervous, afraid, and shaky that at some point they're going to make it come to the light. If you're worrying about the person who's slandering you, understand something, y'all. They're going to be so nervous, afraid, and shaky that at some point the truth will come to the light. If you are worrying about a person who's spreading rumors about you, a person who took you for granted, if you're worrying about a person, are they going to get their karma or not? Understand something, y'all. You will see it. They're going to be so nervous, shaky, and afraid. And see, that is all a byproduct of the bad things that they have done to you and other people. Understand what I'm saying, y'all? So realize something. Someone is afraid. They are nervous as well as shaky. Okay? But anyway, y'all, as y'all can see, we are outside connecting with nature. All right? We are outside with the waterfall, y'all. Birds are chirping, people walking around, people going to work, everybody, you know, having a good day. But on some real stuff, y'all, if you happen not to be having a good day, I want you to know it is okay. If you happen not to feel like yourself today, I want you to know it is okay. But that's why I'm sending you peace, love, happiness, and prosperity. Because you know what, y'all? Every day is not going to be a great day. That's not me speaking negatively. That is me speaking in reality. All right? And so once again, y'all, if you're not feeling yourself, I'm just sending this big ups to you to let you know that you are him, you are her. If you feel less than, I'm just sending you this big ups to let you know you are more than enough. All right? And that was just the spirit, y'all, that led me to say this. Okay? But back to these enemies, y'all. Someone is afraid. They are nervous and shaky. All right? Let's go ahead and get into it. But y'all know how we do. Leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. Yes, sir. Not only that, y'all, but y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. Number one, y'all, first thing is first. The reason why that person is afraid, they are nervous and shaky, is because number one, you have an assertive demeanor. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, you have an assertive demeanor. See, a lot of people think that assertive means to be rude. A lot of people think that assertive means to be, overly confident, right? Some people may think that assertive means you are inserting yourself in situations that has nothing to do with you, and that is not the case, right? When you are assertive, you pretty much take control of yourself and an environment or any dynamic, right? Because you are showing how confident you are. You're showing how much you believe in yourself and your decisions within your choices. When you are assertive, you are sure that you're not making a mistake, even if you are making one. So for example, if you take a person who's in a bar and he sees a man who's in a bar and he sees a young woman, right? Older woman, don't matter, a woman. And if he says, hey, what's going on, bartender? I want to get myself and the lady a drink. What's your name? That's assertive. Guess what? She possibly, just maybe, is not interested. But my man's so assertive, she just may go for it. Why? Because of the confidence and the willing to take control of the dynamic and the environment, right? He creates this mystery. He creates this, anxious vibe to itself. Who is this man just coming up here talking about he gonna buy me a drink? Guess what? I got your attention. Now, the point is not about, dating. The point is that is a form of being assertive, all right? Assertive is when you take control of a dynamic or an environment, not overbearingly, just enough to show a person that, hey, I'm that dude, I'm that girl, I'm that woman, I'm her, I'm him. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? And see, a lot of times, this is frightening to a lot of people, okay? They don't want you to be assertive. Some people want you to be afraid, nervous, and shaky, just like them. Have y'all ever noticed when people can sense that you are a person of low self-esteem, insecurity, second guess yourself, always asking, people for their permission? Like, one thing, y'all, I would tell y'all, when I was coming up in school, I would always ask a person, hey man, how I look? And as I've grown older to become a older man, right, or young man, I realized that that was a form of insecurity, right? I wasn't getting that at home. My mom or my stepdad wasn't telling me, hey, you look handsome, you look nice. They just sitting us out there, right? And so that formed the insecurity in me to ask for other people's opinion. Hey, how I look? Hey, I look good, man, I'm cool. And that was said in a funny way, but the reality was that was still some form of insecurity, right? That was not an assertive demeanor. Guess what? When you have that, even in your adulthood, people can sense that, and they're going to know that you're not a threat. You're not assertive. You're not confident. So, yes, we're going to talk circles around you. Yes, we're going to diminish anything you're talking about. Yes, you're going to make us feel more comfortable. But when you have that assertive demeanor, people get nervous around you. They become afraid. Because guess what? You can pull certain things out of them. You begin to make them feel uncomfortable. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. Someone is afraid. They are nervous and shaky. And it has everything to do with your assertive demeanor. All right? If you are assertive, drop that down below in the comments. I am assertive, okay? You take control of the dynamic of the situation. You're not waiting for anyone to give you permission to be great, to be beautiful, to be handsome, to be him, to be her. You're not waiting for permission for a person to say that, hey, you're chosen. I already know that, right? Next thing, y'all, number 2, they know their intentions. This right here is a big one. They know their intentions, right? So I think I told y'all about this before. When I was in school, in college, if you will, when I first moved up here, I got with the wrong crowd, right? I wasn't trapping or hanging around people doing drugs and nothing like that. But I was around other younger people who were from the city, which were a little faster than me. They knew a little bit more, right? I always been wise, but the facts are the facts. I'm from the country, right? So certain people who are from the city just move a little bit faster. Long story short, y'all, I went to the MARTA station here in Atlanta, right? We got like multiple MARTA stations everywhere. We got one in the West End, we got Buckhead, we got Brookhaven, we got it's just everywhere, y'all. And I think I was on the West End. And I went inside. I was about to pay for my my bus ride or my train ride, but the dude was like, man, come on, Reno, man, we gonna buck. Buck mean not pay for it. Basically, be a thief. And I was like, man, I don't know, man. Like, I got the money right here. He was like, come on, man, it's open, bro, come on. Peer pressure is, y'all know what it is, right? Peer pressure is one of them things. And so I just say, you know what, let me just go ahead and do it. Now, I walk in, and once I walk in, immediately we see the MARTA police is behind us. Now, mind y'all, we're high because we all done smoke some weed, and if y'all don't know, weed make you paranoid. And so I was extremely paranoid because I seen them behind me. I'm like, yo, they finna get us because they saw us, right? Now, the whole time, y'all, they wasn't even worried about us. But we thought, because we started running, we thought that they were after us, and especially me, right? Like, you know, I was not trying to mess up my entire college career. I was not trying to get myself in trouble to where I landed myself back at home. I mean, that's all I could think about. But long story short, y'all know what I'm trying to say. The reason why I was so nervous, shaky, and afraid was because I knew my intentions. I was trying to steal a train ride. And once I seen the authorities, I immediately became nervous, shaky, and afraid. This is the same thing, y'all, with people who are around you. They will become nervous, shaky, and afraid when they know their intentions, right? They know their intentions. See, you don't know anything. All you're going off of is what you see, what they tell you, how they act, how they breathe, how they walk, how they talk. Reno, what are you saying right now? Just because they know their intentions, you don't know their intentions, right? Or it doesn't mean that you know their intentions. And a lot of people tell on themselves, right? Somebody drop in the comments and say, you are telling on yourself. A lot of times, y'all, people tell you everything you need to know without you figuring nothing out by them, right? Like, they didn't have to tell you, they told on themselves. Meaning, you didn't have to ask them overly ask them questions. You didn't have to go through a phone. You didn't have to stalk them and watch them. You didn't have to hire a team to see what they had going on. You didn't have to, see what they had going on by going through their phone or going through their information. Whatever the case is, y'all, you didn't have to. They told on themselves, okay? And this is simply because they know their intention. Point blank, period. Number 3, it's gonna be this right here, y'all. You have a commanding presence, right? You have a commanding presence. This is very important when you're talking about a person who has status, a person who naturally is charismatic, a person who commands the attention of people. Now, let me explain when a person is commanding the attention of people. It doesn't mean that they are attention seekers, right? These people are magnets to attention, meaning attention seeks them. When you are beautiful, when you are handsome, when you are gifted, when you are skilled, when you are talented, when you are, a problem solver, attention comes to you. Don't nobody ever get a toothache and say, when the dentist get paid for the service and say, oh, the dentist was seeking attention. No, I'm just placed in position, right? Whenever you get hungry and you pay for groceries at the grocery store or you pay for a dinner at a restaurant, you don't say, oh, they wanted attention. No, you went to them, right? That's the same thing with yourself. You command, right? You have a commanding presence, right? Which means you command the attention of the people You command the attention of the job. You command the attention. That's why a lot of people are afraid, nervous, and shaky around you. Okay? It is okay, y'all, to be charismatic. It is okay to realize people are coming to you for the fruit that you bear. You have a fruit. You naturally have a fruit, right? Whether that fruit is to make other people happy, that fruit is how well you draw, that fruit is how good you look. You have a fruit, and that commands the attention of the people. You have a commanding presence. That's why people are always trying to shut you down. That's why people are always trying to shut you up, right? That's why they tried to keep Cinderella in the room, right? Locked up in the storage. But you cannot stop what God has for a person. It is what it is, y'all, okay? Moving on to the next one, number 4. It's going to be this right here, family. Asking questions, right? Asking questions will always get a person, you know, especially when they have something to hide, especially when they have negative or evil intentions. When you ask questions, y'all, that becomes a problem, right? Even the great Tupac said they punish the ones who's asking questions, right? They want you to move off of the propaganda. They want you to move off of the social programming. They want you to move off of traditionalism, which means they don't want you to think for yourself. Somebody drop in the comments and say, I think for me. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I think for me. When you think for yourself, y'all, that becomes a huge issue. But even more importantly, when you ask a person questions. Anybody has been dating and you just ask them about their past. Some people may disagree and say, well, Reno, the past don't have anything to do with the present and the possible future. But honestly, y'all, it does. Because who a person was can possibly affect where y'all going. It can possibly affect who y'all are trying to become, right? And especially if trauma has been involved, y'all gotta fix that. Or else y'all are gonna be trauma bunny and not really in love. That's one of the most toxic relationships or ships you can be on. Make sense what I'm saying, y'all? But asking questions. You've been dating, you ask this person a question about their past and they get overly defensive, right? See, it's one thing to punish a person for their past. See, when they tell you about their past, you have the opportunity to stay there or leave there. You don't continuously stay there just so you can continuously punish them about what they did in the past. I seen one of the realest posts, y'all. They said, I did my dirt. I paid my karma. I'm not about to keep apologizing for my past. One of the most realest posts. Even when I make my videos, y'all, about karma, it's not about how a person should pay indefinitely, right? You just get hit by a brick every day in the back of the head because you did something wrong. No, you pay your karma and you move on, right? So I want to make sure I be fair. I'm not saying that after they tell you they passed, that you're supposed to continuously stay there and then just make them pay for it. No, you have that option. But the point is, if they get very defensive, y'all, and nervous and shaky and afraid, right, and just very overly defensive, they got something to hide. And you're getting close to finding out. With that being said, they don't want you asking certain questions, right? You ask them about, you know, what you did in the past or what they did in the past, how they have handled situations in the past, or who is this person? Who is that person? All of these are valuable questions. You asking them about family. The list goes on, y'all. You can ask them about anything. If they get very defensive, that's why. Those questions are pissing them off because it forces them to reveal the real them. Okay? And that's with anything. That is with anything. That's why a criminal can't stand when lawyers or detectives ask them real questions. And that's why the legal system don't like when a person who's trying to get justice for their loved one is asking questions. Questions get people told on, and questions allow people to tell on themselves. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. Last one, y'all, is going to be number 5. That is You are on to them, all right? You are on to them. Now that you have asked questions, you've shown your assertive demeanor, okay? You now got a great idea of their intentions, okay? Of course, you ask questions. Then you shown your commanding presence. I mean, family, they are at this point shaking in their boots. At this point, y'all. And so, in their mind, you're on to them, right? You're on to them. I was just watching a video where a guy was on a high-speed chase with the police, and the first thing he did was threw the drugs out the car. Now, here's the thing. Maybe they would not have searched for drugs unless they knew for a fact he had it. But let's assume that they didn't know that he had drugs, right? And he on that high-speed chase. Maybe they just would have pulled him out the car and just, arrested him and took the car, whatever the case is. But the thing is, y'all, he immediately threw the drugs out. Well, now you got your extra charge because deep down he felt that they were on to him. Maybe he was right, maybe he was wrong, but the point still remains. When we feel that someone is on to us, the things that they didn't even see, they now see it. It's like walking out and you got a stain at the bottom of your shirt. And you walk out like, man, I know I got a stain in my shirt. He was like, hey, man, I ain't even see it, but hey, now I see it. You felt like they was on to you. So you exposed other things they didn't even need exposing. Make sense of what I'm saying? You are on to them. This is why they are afraid, nervous, and shaky, right? You know how people act when they trying to hide that stain on their shirt? They trying to hide that ponytail, trying to hide that blemish or that pimple on their face with makeup. Afraid, nervous, and shaky. These things happen, y'all, all right? But with that being said, family, that's going to conclude the video. Someone is afraid. They are nervous and shaky, all right? With that being said, y'all already know how we do. Y'all make sure y'all get one of those Yes Sir t-shirts, Yes Sir hoodies. Be sure to book a one-on-one session with me, okay? It is a limited time offer only. Of course, y'all check out any one of my books. And of course, y'all enroll into the social influence course. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Y'all keep a rich mentality. Peace.